Yeah, let's talk more about the Democrats. New York is this major battleground, and I'm wondering what's at stake here, as you see it, Steve, for both Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders.
Well, I think it's a huge disaster for Hillary Clinton if she can't win New York. This is a state that she represented in the Senate for 8 years. This is a place where she has won not only for the Senate, but won in 2008 when she ran for president. And it would look really, really bad for her, not only just losing New York as Hillary Clinton, but losing to Sanders in a period where Sanders is pulling off wins left and right. He's got momentum from winning 7 of the last 8 contests. Coming off a big win in Wisconsin and a 2-week period where he is down in the polls by double digits to Clinton in New York. So if he can win this thing in New York, it's just going to be such a huge boost to him in terms of the narrative, the storyline of this race. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to change anything in terms of his path to the nomination. I mean, unless he wins by 20 points or 15 points in New York, it's going to be hard to make an argument that this actually helps him get closer to the nomination in terms of delegates. But, I mean, can you imagine what everybody's going to be saying if Clinton loses a double-digit lead in the polls to Sanders in the state that she represented in the Senate? It's going to, if there's hand-wringing going on now in the Clinton campaign because of the recent wins from Sanders, it's going to be a full-on panic if Sanders wins on the 19th.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's talk about this. There's been some controversy, as you know, surrounding Bernie Sanders' invitation to the Vatican. The Vatican says his campaign showed, quote, monumental discourtesy. Here's what Senator Sanders had to say about the invitation earlier.
Just wanted to say that I'm very excited to have received an invitation from the Vatican to participate in a major conference dealing with how we inject morality into the world's economy. Pope Francis, to my mind, has been an extraordinary leader in making the world conscious of the levels of income and wealth inequality that exist on our planet, in the fact that so many people, what he calls the dispossessed, the young people, the old people, the unemployed, people who are not part of the mainstream economy and the suffering that is existing all over this world. I am excited that I will be giving a speech at the Vatican at that conference on Friday. We'll come back on Saturday. But this is something to me that I am extraordinarily grateful for this invitation and very much look forward to the conference.
All right, so to be clear for our viewers who might not have been following this, this is a conference on economic and social issues hosted by a pontifical academy. And so the dispute is really sort of over protocol, isn't it? As far as I can tell, it sounds like some senior Vatican officials are upset that the proper protocol wasn't followed, and now they're concerned his presence might put this political cast on that event. What do you make of all this, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking at it from a purely political standpoint in terms of how it's going to affect the campaign. This is a huge gamble for Sanders, just leaving New York a few days before the New York primary and going to Europe to speak to the Vatican, this conference hosted by the Vatican. Now, I think this is obviously a play to try to woo Catholics in New York and heavily Catholic New York State. But at the end of the day, he's taking 2 days off the trail and speaking at an event where it just doesn't seem like it's the type of thing that's going to all of a sudden Catholics and say, oh, great, so Bernie Sanders is at the Vatican, he's got my vote. I think, pressing the flesh in New York probably might be, well, I don't know, might be more helpful to him as opposed to going over and doing this. And now you have this sort of back and forth between him and the Vatican, questions as to whether he was really sort of lobbying for the invitation or lobbying to be included on the speakers list, with the Vatican sort of suggesting, well, yeah, he was not really invited. He sort of was asking to come over here, and we let him come over to speak. So I don't know. It just seems like a big gamble to me. I would think that his time might be better spent in New York, especially being down double digits in the polls to her there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how all of this plays out. Steve Chaggaris in Washington for us. Steve, thanks so much.
Thanks, Elaine.